Hey guys, what's up? It's been a week since the competition now, and it turned out pretty good. I was very happy how it went. There were over 88 competitors in total. That includes men and women in every category. We had a pec sculptor vendor booth. We were able to sell some inventory there. That was nice. People loved it. And we also had 6 or half a dozen pec sculptors backstage for people to use and pump up with before they went on to do their posing routine or their head-to-head with the other competitors. And everyone loved it. I didn't find one person that didn't like it. Most of the people used it, and it was really cool to see some really big guys using it, struggling with it, and then afterwards kind of grabbing their chest, because it was on fire. So that was awesome. So for my competitions, I was part of the Classic Physique Novice category, and what that means is just you've never won a show before, which I haven't. And also the Classic Physique Masters. Now that's for the people that are 40 plus. I was not going to do that, but I was kind of talked into doing it. I always thought that 40 plus was a bit silly because you still have a bunch of Mr. Universes and Mr. Olympias in their 40s. So I mean, 50 plus I get, but 40 plus, that's a bit like, people are still winning shows well into their 40s. So, but anyway, I did it, and I'm happy I did because I got second place in the Masters. That was cool. There were 3 people there. The guy that got first place was an absolute monster. I mean, he was incredible. I think he won the whole show, the Open, Classic Physique, and every category he went in. I think he won the whole show. So that was incredible there. And then for the Novice Classic Physique division, there were 4 competitors, and I placed 4th, but it was pretty competitive. My abs were very solid, so I was very happy about that. And I was able to do something that I always wanted to do, and that is a classic Steve Reeves 3/4 back pose. For those of you that don't know, Steve Reeves was a bodybuilder. Steve Reeves was a bodybuilder back in the 1950s and an actor. He played Hercules. He was the original bodybuilder turned actor. So he opened the door and paved the way for people like Lou Ferrigno and Arnold Schwarzenegger and the slew of others that came after them. But he had this one really cool pose. You'll go to you'll see bodybuilding shows today. They're people that are built like a refrigerator, and they'll do their classic, their poses, the lat spread and all the others, which are cool poses. But you don't really see posing like that anymore. Arnold Schwarzenegger did that pose as well, but it's a 3/4 back pose, and it's one I always wanted to do. Unfortunately, with my back, part of that is twisting, and it's very difficult to do. I never thought I'd be able to do it, but this time, I guess enough years have gone by. I've done enough physical therapy, and I really worked at it, and I was able to pull the pose off, I think. So this is the Classic Physique Steve Reeves pose when he did it here. So you can see it's very aesthetic. It's kind of like a Greek statue, which to my mind is what bodybuilding should be. And then here's my version of it on stage. So I think I pulled it off. I think I was able to do something I always wanted to do there. I'm very pleased about that. I really wanted to do a pre-show video on pre-competition jitters because the roster came out for who was going to be in this show. And I had never experienced that before. I never had an idea before show day who was going to be at the show. Now this was just a few days before the show, but still it was before the show. And I was able to see that one of the competitors, the guy that ended up winning, was going to be part of the show. And it freaked me out at first. And that might seem silly, because at the end of the day, we all have our personal goals that we want to meet, and if we meet those goals, who cares, right? Who cares what else happens? And in a sense, that's true. You shouldn't care, what the others look like. You're doing this for you at this level. But in another sense, I mean, one of my goals was to look like I belonged on stage. The hope is always that you go to a show, and the people that you're gonna be competing against are going to be representative of, other people that have the same interest as you. So you're hoping that when you go, it's, you're gonna see what your average bodybuilder looks like, your peers, and you're gonna kind of see how you stack up against them, and you hope, at the very least, I did. I wanted to be somewhere kind of in the middle of the pack. You know, I didn't want to look like an outlier, a crazy outlier that didn't belong there. So that's the gamut with the bodybuilding show. You never know who's going to show up, and that's one of the things that I think, one of the reasons that people will do bodybuilding shows like that, because it's very honest. Okay, you're going to go on stage. Doesn't get more honest than that, right? You're standing on stage in a Speedo in front of an auditorium full of people. If you've put the hard work in, it's going to show. If you haven't put the hard work in, it's going to show. So it's a public reality check is what you're looking for. And again, the hope is that there's you've got a good sample of what your average bodybuilder looks like, and you're going to see how you match up. That's the hope. All in all, I'm very, very happy with the way things turned out. This was me in 2009. This was me at the show last week. I found the exercises, weights, reps, and sets that I could do without pain, and I did every exercise that my body would let me. Still, though, I do think that somehow I can improve. There are a lot of guys that peak in their 40s. I'm 40 now, and this show's got me thinking about just how far I can go. But we'll see.